Want to be a guest on a future episode of Create, Build, and Manage Daily? Email us at interviews@biztv.com.
Joe Borzacchiello is the managing director of Line and Circle LLC, a full-service design technology firm. And Joe is joining me in studio tonight. Joe, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Now, I appreciate your time. You actually flew in. I love that. Because so many of our guests, why do it Zoom when you can be in person, right?
Correct.
There you go.
Come visit Dallas and see a little of Fort Worth as well. Arlington.
So yeah, have a little fun.
That well.
So let's talk about it. What does Line and Circle specialize in?
Well, we started with drafting, 3D modeling, helping architects, engineers, and developers do their plans, or sending some of our in-house technicians out on site with them to complete projects. Over the last few years, we've been getting into existing conditions and 3D laser scanning, reality capture, which is the starting point to all of the CAD and the 3D modeling, because before any project, you have to know what you're starting with.
Right. Yeah.
So we specialize in the assistance with the design technology.
So who are your ideal clients? Who are the type of industries that you're servicing?
Well, ideally, anybody that needs a blueprint. Our typical clients would be commercial, retail, medical imaging type clients that go through architects, engineers, developers, but we can also work for the client themselves. Some owners own that space and the planning themselves, others hire architects to do it. So there's many areas that we can actually jump in and assist.
It's specialization, but I could see how that really helps your clients take that burden off so they can focus on the other planning. And because when you're building something, there's a lot of logistics that goes with that.
Yes, and then there's also a lot of logistics when it comes to CAD and Revit and hiring those technicians with the timelines going on with your project. So they're able to call us and use us for 2 hours or 4 or 5 years, depending on what they need. So we really try to focus on long-term relationships with our clients.
And let's talk about that, because I think, we talk about relationships in business, and that's important for everybody. But you're talking about not just a couple of dollars here when people are talking about a massive project that they're building.
Correct.
So how important is it for you to build those relationships to give your clients that ease that their project's going to go smoother having the proper blueprint or 3D image?
Well, I think any business, it's crucial to have open and honest relationships. But with these types of projects, we need to be really clear and upfront with the client, get their needs and desires implemented into this, and then avoid any inefficiencies or overhead, because that can really drive up the costs of what some of these 3D modeling and scans can do. So if a client doesn't need X, Y, and Z, don't spend their budget money on that. But really getting to know them, getting to know their projects, their standards, and how we can jump in and really just assist.
And I would think the timing of it as well, you could really help your clients when we talk about supply chain issues and how the cost of materials are increasing, not having that front end delayed. Because I've seen projects before, like school districts will do a bond election, and it seems like they take 18 months to get the design out the door. And then by the time they start moving dirt, they got to have another bond election to pay for the increase in cost.
Yes, and even small projects can have quite the hiccups that can slow you down. So that's why the reality capture, the 3D laser scanning is important, because we can come in and bring the truth of that situation to the client rather than problems finding the project later.
If you are, we can put the website on the screen for those who are watching us on Biz TV tonight. It's lc5d.com. If you're listening on Biz Talk Radio, make sure you can safely write that down, because you want to check it out. It's lc5d.com. You mentioned a couple times. Let's talk about this 3D laser scanning department, because this is something that's growing.
Yes.
So how excited is that?
That's pretty exciting. It's been technology that's been in the works for a while, and I've been in the drafting industry for about 24 years, and I've had about 10 or 12 years working with laser scanners and the softwares there. But looking at where this has gone from old traditional methods, we used to have to sketch and then take dimensions of an existing space. So we would have to make sure that not only our sketches are correct, but each dimension we're taking is correct, and there's a lot of room for human error. Once you bring the 3D laser scanner in, it captures roughly 300 to 500 million points of data rather than just 1 or 2 points as you take your laser tape. And then that gives you a full picture, robust data set of what your project actually is in the field. So a lot of things may look flat, they may look symmetrical, and our eyes can make a lot of assumptions in the field. So this is able to give you a very clear picture of where things are at, how they exist, and even their conditions. Somewhere we've been using this is asset documentation as well. So not only can we document the physical space of the architecture and the assets they have there, but if it's a warehouse, we're able to capture inventory, box quantities and counts.
Nice.
And then we can also supplement photos with those as well and make that part of a package. I think where we're excelling in the laser scanning is this data is very bulky, so it's hard to share. On the back end, you have to have a technician that understands how to interpret it and use it. We've developed some methods and processes in order to make a very shareable, easily readable package that we can deliver to our clients too.
Okay, very cool. Hey, I love how technology, I talk to so many different industries, and I love how technology is not only making your job easier, but it's really making it more efficient, as you said.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, it's helping the client out, which is great. So we got about 90 seconds left. What is next for Line and Circle? What do you guys, as you look toward the future, what's coming down the pipeline?
Well, we've got some historical ruin type scans that we've been doing, which is really exciting on that end. I think just continuing to do what we do it well, stay ahead of that curve, and taking care of our clients. Outside of there, it just depends where life and business take us.
I got to think part of your job, the joy of it, is the variety of the projects, right?
Yes,
whether it's a building to who knows what that you're designing.
We excel when we have repeat projects because we're able to put easy processes into place for the clients to keep those turning out. But the joy and the excitement for me is the variety and the diversity and getting something new to look at and designing new processes around that.
So I could tell you enjoy that as well. The website, again, is lc5d.com. And again, this really it doesn't matter what your industry is, as Joe mentioned. If you need a blueprint, you need 3D imaging, you got that next project, the next build out. It could be anything from churches to municipalities, and the sky's the limit. Check them out again, lc5d.com. Joe, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time. Yeah, enjoy your time in Texas.
Right.
Make sure you eat some good barbecue while you're here.
Definitely will.
All righty. We'll stick around. We'll be back right after this.